Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2024, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 76 years of independence, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030, as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's sessions. Today, we are commemorating Stop Bad Service Day in US. Rudeness, inattentiveness, and even lying, these are only some of the reasons Stop Bad Service Day observed on the first Wednesday in March is crucial. The day is all about drawing attention to unpleasant customer service experiences from business and other organizations. So we encourage everyone to try to nip this trend in the bud. Bad service can be a difference between a repeat loyal customer and one who bashes the business online and offline. And according to NICE Seed Zone's customer survey, more than half of the 700 people surveyed were not happy with the service of the resolution they received. But how did customer service even start? And when did it become so important to a business that awful customer service can cost a company billions? According to a 2018 report, this amount came up to $75 billion per year in losses. The story began with a little invention known as a telephone. Although most items were created at home, the idea of someone to complain to was starting to take hold. As catalogs increased, people began to order more items via post. By 1894, another invention called the telephone switchboard came around. Still, customer service was reserved for an elite few, those who can afford and at that time expensive service. Then came the Industrial Revolution, and with it the new middle class. They had buying power and access to mass produced goods. By the 1920s, departmental stores created sections specifically to cater to customers' demands. Customers could visit these departments and talk to employees for help with returns or other quick fixes. New machines meant new questions and repairs, and more customer service was needed. From 1921 until the end of the World War II, the economy tanked and took people's buying power with it. Customer service regained its power only when computational technology came around. In 1950s and 1960s were a period of innovation and efficiency. Switchboard technology gained more finies and service calls could now even be taken off-site. Customer service was no longer confined to one physical location. The later part of the 20th century saw many technological innovations. Technology now allowed customers to store recorded messages on a disk and even play previously registered messages. Gradually, analog shifted to digital. Call centers in international labor markets became the norm, and voice technology improved to unrecognizable heights. Then another major change shook up the way everyone handled service. The internet changed every aspect of communication: instant chats, personalized behavioral information, and now social media. Each innovation influenced how companies, organizations, and others interacted with clients and customers. People began to see and expect a better quality of service. Customer service was now a full blown necessity. Today, customer demands good quality of service, and despite all technology at our disposal, a human touch. So we haven't found anything about origins of this day, but we do see it in different ways at different places. Alexander Graham Bell invents a device that, along with the telephone switchboard invented in 1894, builds a foundation for the customer service industry to start and bloom. Since 14th February 1876, AT&T introduces the toll-free telephone number, which takes the customer service industry to new heights. The next big thing in 1967. Voice technology can now redirect calls and unburden customer service agents. Calls can even be outdated internationally from analog to digitals in between 1980s and 1990s. In 2000, the internet is here and it brings major sweeping changes to the way service is provided. Chat is introduced, behavioral information about customers is being captured, and social media puts customers in the driver's seat. It is characterized by the businesses for failing to meet customer needs and expectations in terms of service quality, employees' attitudes, response times, or overall customer service experience. When faced with poor service, remain calm and explain your point of view to the person delivering the service. If you cannot resolve the issue, only then you should take it up with a superior. If the customer has had a bad service with you, listen to their situation and show them empathy. Follow this up by non-partisan judging of the situation, offer solutions as per the customer's preferences, and address the issue to prevent a recurrence. Stop bad service if it's happening to you. Stand up and say something. Make your feedback as polite and constructive as you can so that you don't put people on their back foot. Compliment good service. Ensure future customers get this benefit too by praising the good service you have received. This really helps ward off future bad practices. Improve your service. For those dealing with customers and clients, make sure your services are up to the mark. Reflect on your practices and send out satisfaction surveys to get feedback on how you can improve. Spread the word about Stop Bad Service Day and celebrate with other business committed to giving people the bad quality of service. Despite the customer complaining almost 7 times, the company strict responsibility for this third-party charge until their hand was forced by bad press, and that is Amazon's dollars 5,000 toilet paper. Whirlpool refused to replace a microwave that broke down 5 times in 6 months. They only did it after being publicly called out the irreplaceable microwave. A user tweeted that a company called Baremetrics would not simply let him quit their product. He had to jump through hoops, and call someone called Brain before he was unsubscribed. Easy subscription, but leaving not so much. Two places, Mollymook Ocean View Motel in New South Wales and the Union Street Guest House in New York, charge guests money for writing what they call defamatory reviews. Both places faced were severe backslash, and the New York place got more bad reviews. So defamatory reviews are more expensive. Singer Ezreble tweeted about being racially profiled at Sephora's Calabasas store and received not apology. Hundreds of similar stories later, Sephora closed all their US stores temporarily to give their employees diversity training, addressing diversity problems. So everyone deserves to be treated as a human being, and this day can help with that. The day can curb bad service. When the business seeks to improve their customer service, they start taking feedback seriously. Sometimes this can lead to a new, better policies and inclusive staff and management. The personal development this day causes leads to highly skilled workers in our workforce and all around better human beings in the society. That's better for the community and all of us. There's a snowball effect to this day. Today is also commemorated as No Homework Day. That seeks to give students a break from homework assignments. Homework refers to a set of tasks assigned to students by their teachers to be completed outside the classroom. Common homework could include any of variety of required reading, mathematical exercises to be completed, information to be reviewed before a test, or other skills to be practiced, depending on the discretion of the teacher involved. The issue of how effective homework assignments are has been debated over the years. In a general sense, homework does not particularly improve the academic performance of students. So, No Homework Day was created by couple Thomas and Ruth Roy as a means to help students focus on activities rather than homework. It is expected that on this day, parents give their children a break from homework and that teachers at school equally take a break from giving homework. Research has shown that homework can lead to stress, thereby being counterproductive to the learning process. Homework eats up children's free time for other activities necessary for development, and its importance in learning is rather obscure. Professors at Duke University have suggested that the 10-minute rule should apply to the homework. The No Homework Day isn't about removing homework completely from the picture, but it is meant for everyone involved to take a step back and relax. It's about giving children a break. No Homework Day encourages students to take a break from homework for a day and focus on other rewarding activities like sleeping, reading a novel, creating art, playing a sport, or any other leisure activity or pursue their hobby. The first ever high school, Shishi High School, based in Chengdu, China, is established in 143 BC in the West. American politician Horace Mann, who played a major role in the development of foundational academic curricular system in the US, is born in 1976. The Italian educator who is said to have invented homework, Roberto Nevilis, is born in 1905. American filmmaker and co-founder of this day, No Homework Day, Thomas Roy, is born in 1944. So No Homework Day is an international day that was created to help students focus on activities other than Homework. No Homework Day is celebrated this year on March 6th. The best way to celebrate No Homework Day is to skip homework altogether if you have any today. Ideally, no one should be getting homework that day anyway, so it would be justified. So, in the absence of any homework, this is an opportunity to feed any of your hobbies, which could be anything from seeing a movie to playing a video game or enjoy engaging in a hobby. No Homework Day is also a fun for everyone. So, whatever hobby you decide to devote that free time to, let everyone know by sharing it on media with No Homework Day hashtag. Start a conversation about it online. Taking home assignments based on work done in school trends to help students retain the knowledge of what has been taught. It helps with memory retention. So, homework is not always bad. It provides hands on experience. Doing homework gives the student the opportunity of having practical experience on the subject. Homework could be stressful. Having to deal with a load of homework every day or even other day could increase stress levels in a student and cause a lack of interest in schoolwork. Homework usually gets in the way of students having an active social life, and if it gets too overwhelming, it could have negative effects on the students. In the age of internet, it is easy for students to plagiarize homework and not necessarily put the required amount of time into learning the subject. Homework doesn't guarantee hard work. And it is a good day for balance. No Homework Day is good for helping the students balance out their life, seeing they get homework every other day. Balance is also important in life. On most days of the week, parents bond with their children over academic work. No Homework Day allows us to bond over something else, anything but homework. Today is also commemorated as National White Chocolate Cheesecake Day in US, celebrated every year on March 6th, a day dedicated to the unique version of everyone's favorite dessert. Cheesecake is a sweet dessert made with soft fresh cream or cottage cheese, sometimes eggs for non-veggies, and without eggs for veggies, and sugar under crust of crushed graham crackers, cookies, pastry, or sponge cake. Cheesecakes can either be baked or frozen until the cheese and other components settle into a solid piece. The dessert is often served topped with fruit, chocolate, compote, or whipped cream. The most common cheesecake flavors are blueberry and strawberry. But today is about their less popular, most special sibling, the white chocolate cheesecake. The origin of cheesecake is easily traced. During the 1930s. The famous New York style cheesecake was created at a restaurant called Linding's, combining cream cheese and cake into one delicious treat. While the restaurant shut down in 1960s, the owner of the restaurant released the recipe to the public through the magazine Duncan Hines, which acclaimed restaurants consult for their food innovations. Since then, the recipe has traveled far and wide, and today almost every restaurant serves cheesecake with its own variation of the original recipe. Today is also commemorated as National Report General Service Administration (GSA) Fraud Day in US, which takes place annually on March 6 in the US. This draws the public attention to the amount of fraud committed against the GSA government program. It also emphasizes the need for whistleblowers and educate the people on how to claim a substantial reward for reporting GSA fraud. About 10% of the US government spending is lost due to fraud, summing up to $350 billion annually. So GSA import fraud is difficult to detect by the GSA, creating a need for whistleblowers. Joel Hesk, a former US Department of Justice attorney, started this day for the same purpose. The US Congress amended the False Claims Act in 1986 to encourage whistleblowers to come forward with allegations of fraud. The False Claims Act, also called the Lincoln Law, is an American federal law that holds people and organizations responsible for defrauding government programs. Whistleblower provisions in 2009 and 2010 further improved the False Claims Act. On July 21st, 2010, Congress established the Whistleblower Program to provide monetary incentives to people who come forward and disclose probable violations of federal security laws to the SEC. Joel Heske, a whistleblower attorney who spent over 15 years working in the Department of Justice Whistleblower Reward Office, created National Report GSA Fraud Day in 2018. He established the day to help stamp out fraud. In a short but detailed video, he spoke about this day and its purpose and how to celebrate the event. Heske also created his law firm devoted to helping whistleblowers get the government results they deserve. Heske has written 2 free ebooks to aid the public with information on how to help eliminate fraud. One book addresses typical Medicare fraud schemes, while the other lectures about fraud against military, homeland security, and other agencies and teaches people how to report these types of fraud. Whistleblowers help the US government recover $2.2 billion in settlements and judgments in legal litigation against the government for fraud and false claims. So, who can be a whistleblower? Anyone with clear and precise information about consequential fraud against the government, securities, law violations, or tax violations can be a whistleblower. So, learning about federal whistleblower incentive schemes is the best way to commemorate National Report GSA Fraud Day. You might begin by downloading one of the 2 Joel Heske free books. Learn to recognize the typical GSA ripoff schemes. This way, you can quickly identify fraud when you see it. You can get this knowledge by reading Joel Heske books. GSA fraud resulted in a 10% loss in total government spending. Learn how to correctly report fraud to aid in the fight against government fraud in the US. Whistleblowers get sizable rewards for reporting GSA fraud. The US government loses about $350 billion to GSA fraud yearly. Heske, a whistleblower attorney, started National Report General Service Administration GSA Fraud Day. Heske founded the Heske firm, which is a nationwide advocate for whistleblowers. Roughly 42.2% of fraud is detected by tips. So it fosters positive change with every citizen aware and alert. The government stands a chance of eliminating GSA fraud. It puts a stop to fraud against the government. Today is also commemorated as National Oreo Day in US. This America's #1 cookie each year on its very special day on March 6th with National Oreo Day. Good cookies stem from the classics. In fact, it is an absolute favorites, timeless classic, the Oreo. With crisp chocolate cookies and cream filling, these little cookies have captured hearts and stomachs. The Oreo was first introduced in 1912 and it has been best-selling cookie in America ever since. So people love to dunk them, twist them, and straight up take a bite to delicious Oreo. The late Sam J. Porcello, a former Nabisco food scientist, is known for his work in terms of the modern Oreo cookie, which has been a creamy favorite snack for decades. This cookie creation is without a doubt one of his most notable achievements in his 34 years at Nabisco. And frankly, we believe that life has been sweeter ever since we at National Day just cannot get enough. The Oreo cookie is nearly 108 plus years old and is enjoyed by cookie lovers of all ages across the globe. As of 2019, more than an astonishing over 450 billion cookies have been sold worldwide. No one knows from where the name Oreo originated. It's still a mystery why they are called Oreo cookies. This cookie has evolved quite a bit over time. However, the original cookie to cream ratio was 71%, 29%. Today is also commemorated as National Frozen Food Day in US, which was established by President Ronald Reagan in 1984 with Proclamation 5157. Now, therefore, I, Ronald Reagan, President of the United States of America, do hereby proclaim March 6, 1984 as Frozen Food Day, and I call upon the American people to observe such day with appropriate ceremonies and activities. So get thee to the frozen food aisle and stock up your freezers to celebrate National Frozen Food Day. The President demands it. We love vegetables, we do, we promise, but it feels like we are always throwing out produce that has gone bad before we have a chance to use it. With bags of frozen kale and spinach in the freezer, we can always get our greens even if we haven't been in the market in weeks. Today is also commemorated as National Dress Day in US. It celebrates the most versatile and fun article of clothing there is. The dress fashion designer Ashley Lauren founded the day to help pay homage to the dresses and the magical moments that happen when we wear them. I remember the dresses I wore to my promotion, first job interview, first date, competing in a pageant, my first red carpet event, the list goes on. She says, this is a fun day to cherish and celebrate those memories. The simplest way to celebrate National Dress Day is to wear a dress because the day falls during March. It may be cold where you live, and maybe you may be wearing pants for months or use the day as an excuse to get out of favorite dress. No matter how springy, put on some leggings or tights and make new memories in your favorite garden. Dresses are comfortable. Is there anything more comfortable to wear than a dress? Just look at the fashion throughout history and around the world to be assured. Men, women, and children have worn versions of the dress throughout history, and in many warm countries, men wear dresses, also called tunics, as a way to stay cool. There are so many different kinds of dresses that there is one for every occasion. There are dresses for sleeping, dress for lounging around the house, dress for playing sports in, dress for work, dresses for play, and of course, dress for the most special occasions in our lives like promo dresses, wedding dresses, and red carpet dresses, and so on. Dresses are beautiful, can be pragmatic, of course, but they can also be wonderful. Designer dresses can be works of art, and some of the best museums have had dresses on exhibit to highlight their beauty and craftsmanship. They can be embroidered, hand beaded, hand stitched, and made of the finest materials. Today is also commemorated as National Dentist Day in US to celebrate the men and women who keep our chompers chomping, our gnashers gnashing, and our whites pearling. Dentists are doctors who specialize in oral health. It's their job to prevent, diagnose, and treat oral diseases, monitor growth of our teeth and jaws, and perform surgical procedures on our teeth and mouths. Dental health is an integral to our overall health. So today we salute them not just for keeping our teeth looking good, but keeping our bodies in tip-top shape. Ancient Sumerian folks believed tooth decay and cavities are caused by tooth worms since 5000 BC. Hesira from ancient Egypt is known to be one of the earliest dental practitioners in the West since 2600 BC. Artsni Buchlein writes the first book on dental health, Little Medicinal Book for all kinds of diseases and infirmities of the teeth. In 1530, the Book of Dentistry. Aesthetic dentistry is one of the rise with colorful braces, veneers, implants, and bleaching. Cosmetic dentistry since 1990. So nothing makes your dentist happier than knowing you are taking care of your teeth. So celebrate National Dentist Day. Spend a few extra minutes brushing your teeth. You can even floss and use a mouthwash today. And know what? Know that somewhere out there, your dentist is smiling. Make a dental appointment. Since we only go twice a year, it can be easy to forget to make a dental appointment. Take a few minutes out of your day to schedule your next cleaning. It will make you feel accomplished and your dentist will be happy to see you smiling face. Being a dentist can be pretty thankless job, so take a moment to write your dentist a note to let him or her know how much you appreciate his or her hard work. Let him or her know you brush his or her teeth extra hard for him or her today, or simply say thank you for all you do. It will be sure to make his or her day. Our smiles, including our teeth, are one of the first things that people notice about us. And the dentist help keep them looking good. Whether it's encouraging us to floss or taking care of pesky cavities, dentists ensure that our teeth are sparkling and our smiles are confident when we face the world. They calm our fears. A lot of people are scared of going out to the dentist, and it's easy to understand why. Popular culture sets up going to dentist as an altogether terrible experience, and nobody has ever having a root canal. Like, but even when the jobs have to do are hard, dentists are there to chill us out, calm us down, and get us through tricky procedures with as much grace as possible. Healthy teeth means healthy bodies, and for the first time we visit dentists, they are there to keep our mouths and bodies healthy and happy. Anyone has ever had a toothache knows the painful teeth can take over your life, but dentists are there to make us feel our best from head to toe. Today is also commemorated as Iraq Day of Tolerance and Coexistence in Iraq, which takes place on March 6th every year. It is a public holiday, and for that reason, schools and most businesses are closed. This day was declared in March 2021 by the Iraqi Prime Minister Mustafa al-Kadhimi. It is a means of promoting peaceful coexisting and encouraging Christians in the country. Prime Minister al-Kadhimi announced the holiday after the visitation of the Pope of the country. The Pope and the Prime Minister had a heart-to-heart talk on religious matters, and it yielded positive results as the new holiday on peace and tolerance emerged. Despite the fact that Iraq is mainly Muslim, there are Christians there today. Iraq's Christian population has declined dramatically from approximately 1.4 million in 2003 to approximately 5 lakh Christians in 2022. Christians had some religious freedom and protection under Saddam Hussein's brutal dictatorship. However, once ISIS took over vast portions of the country in 2014, it endured terrible persecution at the hands of the terrorist organization. After ISIS was defeated in 2017, many Iraqi Christians who had been on the run were able to settle and rebuild their lives. There are currently 17 active diocese and eparchies in Iraq. Christmas celebrations go on in Iraq as well. Lebanon has the largest proportion of Christians in Iraq. The three major ethnic groups in Iraq with the highest population are Arabs, Kurds, and Turkmen. Arabic and Kurdish are the two official languages in Iraq. The Iraq government, standing for Christians in the country, is a proof that terrible reign of religious extremism has indeed come to an end. People can look forward to living more free lives. With the declaration comes legal measures to ensure protection of other religious groups in Iraq. People can finally be free to worship as they want. Today is also commemorated as Ghana Independence Day in Ghana. It is a public holiday for the citizens of Ghana and also widely celebrated among Ghanaians living abroad. If March 6 falls on a weekend, the following Monday will also be observed as a holiday. It is also known as Ghana National Day or Ghana Independence Day. The celebrations commemorate Ghana's independence from the United Kingdom in 1957. The day is celebrated in public office with carnivals, parades, and other events. Private citizens celebrate the day with music and food. Some may even hoist the national flag at home. Before the arrival of the Europeans, Ghana was the home to Ashanti, a powerful tribe in the region. Many different ancient Ghanaian tribes settled in areas that had an abundance of natural resources, including gold and ivory. These precious commodities are what attracted colonists and lured them to come to the shores of Ghana. While the Portuguese had been first to establish a settlement in this region, the allure of the local riches led to the struggle for control between many European nations. In 1874, Britain took control over the parts of the country and Ghana was renamed the British Gold Coast. After being weakened by the efforts of British World War, Britain decided to reduce its colonies and power they had around the world, including those in Africa. This desire was bolstered by a rising call for independence in the Gold Coast. In 1947, the United Gold Coast Convention, UGCC, a local political party founded by J.B. Dankwa, called for the self-government within the shortest possible time following the Gold Coast legislative elections. So in 1951, former Secretary General of the UGCC and founder of the Convention People's Party, CPP, Osaigo Kwama Nkrumah won a majority in the Gold Coast legislative election. He was appointed the leader of the Gold Coast government in 1952, and the Gold Coast region declared its independence from the United Kingdom on March 6, 1957. Following their independence, the new country was established as the nation of Ghana. Nkrumah went on to become the first Prime Minister of Ghana, and Ghana became the first sub-Saharan African country to achieve independence from colonial powers. Today is also commemorated as Learn What Your Name Means Today and Discover What Your Name Means Day. In US, as the name implies, Discover What Your Name Means is a day to find out true meaning of your name. There are so many names in the world, each of them beautiful and unique, and you deserve to know why yours is special. Your name can reveal a lot about your culture or family history. Whatever the case may be, celebrate Discover Your Name Day by doing some research into the meaning of your name. You might be surprised by what you find. Today is also commemorated as Day of the Dude in US to commemorate the North American release of the movie The Big Lebowski in 1998. The movie portrays a protagonist with a laid back attitude to life who chooses simplicity, peace, and happiness. The idea is to enjoy life's little moments such as bowling or drinking with some friends. This day looks to promote ease and simplicity in society. Being able to easily let things go and go with the flow is a big part of the lifestyle. The lifestyle portrayed in the movie inspired the birth of religion philosophy known as Buddhism. Today is also commemorated as a day of memorial and respect for veterans in Kosovo, which is celebrated annually on March 6th and seeks to immortalize those who died fighting for the nation's independence and honor veterans who continue to serve the country. The event urges citizens of Kosovo to show their respect for active army personnel who are still serving and those who have served their due. Day of Memorial and Respect for Veterans is celebrated widely in Kosovo, although it is not a public holiday. Business and schools still have regular opening hours. People go to cemetery and place flowers on the graves of their loved ones. Parades and fireworks displays add to the festive atmosphere. Officially, the Republic of Kosovo. Kosovo is landlocked country in Southeast Europe. The Ottomans ruled Kosovo for over 4 centuries until Serbia gained control of the region during the First Balkan War from 1912 to 1930. During the World War II, Nazi Germany temporarily assumed control over Kosovo until the end of the war. After World War II, Kosovo became a self-governing province of Serbia in the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, in short known as SFRY, having closely equal rights as the 6 constituent socialist republics of the SFR. Today is also commemorated as Alamo Day in United States. The Battle of the Alamos final is commemorated on Alamo Day, which takes place on the March 6th every year. The Battle of the Alamo came to a brutal conclusion on March 6, 1836, 13 days after a sporadic battle, rounding off a critical milestone in the Texas Revolution. The fort was retaken by Mexican soldiers and virtually all of the Texan defenders, including frontier's Davy Crockett, were killed. The Alamo, initially called the Mission San Antonio de Velro, was constructed in a present-day San Antonio by Spanish immigrants in 1780. Mexican General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna led an assault on the Alamo Mission on February 23, 1836, after it has been seized by the insurgent Texan troops in December. Around 1 lakh Mexican troops stormed the improvised fort and began mounting artillery. The two forces exchanged gunfire over the following 2 weeks, although there were minimal losses, even though they were significantly outnumbered. Co-commanders William Travis and James Brovey insisted on staying put. Doctors and farmers were among the volunteers guarding the Alamo, including Day Crockett, who was a member of Tennessee Militia. On March 6, just before daybreak, the last onslaught occurred. The north wall was broken and Mexican forces surged into the enclosure, rousing many of the Texans within. The fight spanned 90 minutes with considerable hand-to-hand action involved. Bobby, Travis, and Crockett were all killed. However, accounts dispute as to how and when they were killed. Some Texans are said to have surrendered, but Santa Anna ordered the execution of all detainees. Only a few people, primarily women and children, made it out alive. Some 100 Mexicans are said to have died, according to historians. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations. We thank everyone for quickly joining us for today's commemorations. We request everyone to quickly fill out the feedback form, which has been shared in the form of polls. Before you leave the platform, you can see the feedback form raised in the form of polls. Request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form before leaving the platform. See you all tomorrow at the same time with the same link with different commemorations. And on March 8th, we are celebrating International Women's Day from 6 p.m. We request everyone to register and make presentations on the topics which are close to your heart, which are related to women or girls on different dimensions. There is no limit for the presentation, time limit. The minimum duration is 1 minute, maximum is 5 minutes. In some cases, if you require additional time, kindly let us know in advance so that we can make necessary arrangements in scheduling. You can take as much as time you may require, but inform us prior in advance and you can make any number of presentations. So kindly share the registration link with your friends and colleagues and encourage them to make presentations and also for the participations. So see you all tomorrow at the same time. Take care. Good night.